Welcome back. Is this even a swing? Well, we're going to talk about it in this video and help maybe identify if you're doing it right or wrong or even at all.
Even at all.
So, is this a swing?
Sometimes.
Okay, there you have it, everybody. Sometimes you swing and sometimes you don't. But seriously, we're talking about the kettlebell swing. It's so subjective, or is it not?
Some of it is. We're not talking about form here. There are differences. You get a lot of people asking, talking about knee drive. Should it be a squat or a hinge? How deep should it be? Blah, blah, blah. Not interested in that. We're looking at just the fundamental quality of what makes a swing a swing. The occurrence of taking a kettlebell from the floor to the end of the arms does not constitute a swing necessarily. When you look at other lifts, like a deadlift, a bench press, does the weight go from here to here? Do you set up in this way? Do you use these muscles? It's a little simpler. For a swing, it's not just about whether or not the bell goes from the floor back through your legs in the backswing and up to the end of your arms at the chest height. How that happens is really important. The thing that really makes it a swing is the ballistic nature of it. So we need to talk about what is that. A few different definitions floating around. I like almost none of them.
Shocker.
there is one that I like the most, and it has to do with what is actually influencing the bell. And one of the qualities that something requires, if it is ballistic in a physics sense, is that the only thing influencing it is gravity, meaning whatever has accelerated the object. In this case, it'll be your legs and body to get the bell moving. It's done, and the object is moving on its own. Now with the swing, it should be moving on its own, and it would be if you let it go, but your arms are holding on to it. But if at some point the bell is moving and only influenced by gravity, it will be in fact ballistic. So we want to think about, well, where would we have evidence of that? We're talking about this strange concept, but how do we know if it exists or not? And there are two places that we can look. One is the float. So that's where the float should be theoretically. One of the easiest things to do is look, how long do those arms stay there? If you get to the top of the swing and then you're immediately on the way back down, you may not have a float. Sometimes you just have a heavy bell, or you're not emphasizing it. You still swung it up there, but the float is a good place to look. If the body is doing the job, okay, so let's go ahead and go into the backswing. Okay, go ahead and pop up. This is the position, the other position to look, and this is the first video here. We're going to get into a couple other ones to show you really specifically what to look for. But if at this phase I see what I want to see, I know that the bell has in fact gotten ballistic, even if I don't see a lot of time here. The trick is, if you get to this position and you are done propelling the bell and the arms are just lifting on their own because the bell is moving up, then you know you have something ballistic. At this point, the only thing influencing the bell is going to be gravity, and you're going to have some force with your arms to keep the bell in an orbit. Well, we're not talking about that, so let's just ignore that for now. But these are the places to look. One is that bell floating. Okay, if you see a nice, half beat up here, and that bell just seems to just float, maybe rise a little bit, and then slowly go back down before it moves, you know you got a float, you know you got ballistic. And if you see what you need to see, we'll talk about that in the next video. At this point, you also know you have ballistic. But just because the arms get from here to here doesn't mean it's necessarily ballistic. It could be that the arms and the back are still powering the bell to that point, and there's never any moment of relaxation. Okay, if you've propelled the bell, you've powered it up, it's floating, it's swinging up on its own, there should be a moment where you can just kind of relax and take your foot off the gas. And if you don't see that, you don't in fact have a swing. So that's the first thing you want to look for. If it's a swing, it's got to be ballistic or it's a lift. Okay, you want to make sure that you see a float, and if you don't see a float, that's when we're going to get into the finer points of what to look for in the next video.
Great. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. We appreciate it. Stay strong. Stay strong.
That's better.
Okay.